He is a showrunner, writer, and producer for the animated series The Simpsons.
People love all over the world. I just feel like I won the lottery.
He has contributed to numerous film screenplays, including the Ice Age and Despicable Me franchises. He's now working on Kung Fu Panda 3.
When you call a movie Kung Fu Panda 3, it's going to be a giant hit no matter what it is.
He's a full-time Emmy Award winner.
I'm not lying to China. Yeah, I've won some awards.
He's the man behind 24 animated works. Mike Reiss, the icon.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Icon. I'm Ji Xiaojun in Beijing, and joining me in the studio is Mike Reiss, producer and writer for Fox series The Simpsons and Ice Age movies, and co-writer for the upcoming Kung Fu Panda 3. Welcome.
Thank you. It's
Welcome
nice
to
be
Icon.
here. I am an icon.
You are an icon.
Maybe in my apartment
Just
and no
look,
further.
Well, look around. All
Look
these
at
icons.
this.
I like the studio today.
I do too. This is like my whole career is flashing before my life.
Exactly. I know you're now working on this figure.
Yes, I sure am.
Kung Fu Panda 3. We'll come to that. And we've seen some landmark figures over here.
26 years of my life on
26 years.
26, yeah, half my life.
How does
Now,
it feel to be working on a project that lasts that long?
It's nice to have a job. It sounds silly, but I worked for years in television where I needed to find a new job every 9 months. Shows would get canceled. And suddenly I went to work here, and I have a sense I will die on the job, and I'm hoping it's of old age.
Well, it's all thanks to your production, your creativity, and then it's been being on air for like 26 years, as I said, and not just the job, because you've won 4 Emmys.
Correct.
On that, and 1 Lifetime Achievement.
That's
right.
Well, I'm not lying to China. Yeah, I've won some awards.
Well, how does it feel to be able to produce something as successful as that?
It's really great. It's a great feeling, only because you can work a whole career in TV and go from job to job and never be on anything people remember. Or you can work on a show that might be popular for a couple of years and then forgotten. And just to stumble into a job like this, and I really have to say I just fell into it, a job that runs forever and a job that people love all over the world is a great, great feeling. I just feel like I won the lottery.
You don't get bored with the same family, say?
It's sometimes it's a little tricky. It can get a little tough, and it's certainly hard. The hardest part of our job is just thinking of new things for them to do every week. But I have to tell you, we do 1 show a year for Halloween. We do a spooky show where we get to kill them. And that's a great feeling, to be able to kill the Simpsons family 1 week a year. And that gets a lot of pent-up aggression out of our systems.
But the thing is, I mean, it's not just the Simpsons for America now. It seems everyone loves these, the stories, and everyone is so familiar with the characters, and sometimes they have their own expectations. Does it make it even more difficult for you to write the stories for them?
I have to say, when the show began, again, when I was saying I stumbled into the job, I got this job because nobody else wanted to work on this show. It was when the show was just starting up. People thought cartoons were for kids.
That's right. That's what we thought.
That's what and there hadn't been a cartoon show in prime time for 30 years. So I took this job, and there were only 4 or 5 of us working on the show, and we thought nobody was going to watch it. We were working in a trailer. We didn't even have a real office. We were in a trailer, and I think some of the success of the show was we said, well, no one's going to watch it. Let's just do a show that makes us laugh. And I would say from that day to this, we never think about the world. We just try and amuse ourselves in this tiny room, and somehow the world seems to like what we're doing.
Is that the trick, though? I mean, how can you achieve success in animation that not that much pressure from outside?
Well, that's it. When they tell us, oh, the show was popular in Singapore. I went to Singapore and I was treated like a rock star. I mean,
See, you're sitting at Icon seat now.
I'm on Icon. This is it. I can die happy. But that was it. You know, when I write the show, I certainly don't go, what are they going to think in Singapore? Or the show is popular in Israel and in Iran. And it's like, how do you do something that they both like, but somehow they both love it? They like the show in Russia. And the show is most popular, more than anywhere else in the world, in South America. In Chile, in Bolivia. You may have heard this story. Bolivia used to show The Simpsons 2 hours a day, and then they cut it back to 1 hour a day, and there were riots in the streets.
Even riots?
There were riots. Some idiot must have gotten killed because they're only showing an hour of The Simpsons there. And of course, we're not sitting at work thinking, boy, we better make the people in Bolivia happy.
So, but basically you write stories that happen in the States, right?
Yes. I have two theories on this. One is that we're writing about human folly and frailty, and everyone can identify, and everyone has a dysfunctional family.
Right.
But I think in a lot of countries, people don't look at The Simpsons and go, oh, they're just like us. They go, aren't Americans stupid?
All right, interesting.
That's it. I think The Simpsons fits right into a lot of countries' vision of what America is, which is a lot of fat and stupid people.
I mean, since now we're now not like 26 years ago. It's living really in an international community. It's being watched by viewers around the world. So when you write stories for The Simpsons, do you maybe have in your mind some considerations of, you know, is it overseas markets? We
never give it a thought. I have to say we never give it a thought. I can say that, in fact, about everything you're seeing here in the room. We try and write the Ice Age movies, Kung Fu Panda. We just try and write something funny and smart and try to entertain ourselves.
You're shushing me? This guy's on his cell phone, she's texting, he's sexting, and that guy brought a baby to a 9 o'clock movie!
That's negative, man.
What happened to the movies? First they got worse than TV, and now this!
The first step in self-improvement is to take a thorough look at your life.
If you're gonna film me, I insist on a body double.
Is Uncle Fester still alive?
Camera's not on yet, right?
No.
No!
I'm glad I'm not going through this alone. I haven't seen my boyfriend in months.
Oh, he was just here.
No, he wasn't. But thanks for lying.
You like lies? Here's a few. College is expensive, but it's worth it.
I think the baby's coming!
Okay, Homer, remember your Lamaze training.
Now, this next position is fantastic for women who are carrying especially big. Homer, can you demonstrate?
Oh, yeah, wow, that does feel good. Oh, no, I think it's coming. Oh, I haven't even picked a name yet.
You did this to me!
No, I didn't.
At this time, what brought you here to China?
I am here to meet animators. I've been brought all over the country. I was told, oh yes, animation is booming all over China.
Yeah.
And a couple of businesswomen I met brought me here to meet animation people. And I'm shocked there are so many of them. But every city I go to has several animation studios and projects going, and they're looking for more.
But so far, since you've been working in animation for your whole career, have you heard about any Chinese productions, Chinese animation productions so far?
I've got to say no. I have to admit it. And I try and keep on top of what the world is doing. I've seen Iranian cartoons. I've seen cartoons that came out of Thailand. And to this day, I've never seen a Chinese animated film or Chinese animation on television. It does not make the jump to the U.S. It has not penetrated the world consciousness as far as I know. I mean, you have 1.5 billion people right here. It's not like you need more eyes on you, but it is not. The world doesn't know that China is making a lot of animation just yet.
Just for your information, we have some animation works that are now doing great, like the Pleasant Golden Bad Wolf. It's more or less like the equivalent of Tom and Jerry,
Okay.
you know. We have lots of them, but just like what you said, it's not yet, you know, as successful as The Simpsons and being able to make it into the international market. But
Yeah.
according to your analysis, or I mean, to your expertise, what are the main reasons for that?
I don't know enough to comment, but that won't stop me because we're on TV and that's what it's about. People talking about things they don't quite understand. There is the one perception I've run into here where I'll ask someone, have you seen this show? Have you seen this? And they've told me, no, I am not a child. And there may be that perception in China that cartoons are for kids. And I saw a couple of cartoons on the airplane, and I don't want to judge the whole industry, but I was watching it going, no adult would ever watch this. And I have to say, American cartoons, and not just the ones you see here, there's no American cartoons made, even when their target audience is kids, where somebody isn't thinking about the poor father who has to sit in the room watching the show with them. Every cartoon show that I can think of, and especially the popular ones in America, look great for children, but the things they are saying and the jokes they're making are targeted right at adults. I don't know if you're familiar with SpongeBob, very popular cartoon in America. There's a new one called Adventure Time that is taken off. And these are clearly cartoons meant for kids, you know, very kid-friendly, silly cartoons. But the shows are very witty and very sophisticated and often very surreal. A lot of times satire is worked into the plot lines. And that is how we do it in America. And it helps in so many ways. It doesn't just help that, you know, parents can sit there and actually tolerate the show that they're watching with the kids. It's nice they can enjoy them. But also, when a cartoon is too childish, even if a 5-year-old likes it, by the time he's 6, he's going to want to move on. He's not going to look back. He won't even he'll just start, there's a point where he'll go, that's for babies. And when you write a cartoon with a little more sophistication, you can grow up with it. You'll say, oh, I saw this when I was a kid, but I didn't understand all these jokes, and now I'm getting it. But and that especially, I'll say The Simpsons is the ultimate example of that, where it's kid-friendly, it looks cute, there's plenty of slapstick in the show, but then there's social satire, there's relatable things, and then there's a lot of esoterica. You know, we'll parody a Kurosawa movie or quote Shakespeare or Moby Dick, and that's something very often someone will tell me, oh, I've been watching this since I was a kid, and I didn't get that joke till I was 35 years old. We came into your culture and cherry-picked.
You guys are stealing from us.
Yes. Yes, I can't deny it. When you call a movie Kung Fu Panda 3, it's going to be a giant hit no matter what it is.
There is a trend internationally, Chinese cultural elements being incorporated a lot.
Hollywood and China, I think, are doing wrong.
And you just came back from your trip to Guangdong and Wuhan. What is your impression?
I have to say, I was energized by this whole trip. I can tell you a few things.
Yeah.
I don't know about the writing. Nobody's translated anything for me, but you all have the tools. You have magnificent tools, and you have incredibly enthusiastic young animators, and with, you know, visionary, with lots and lots of ideas. And of course, my story is I've worked on 24 animated films, and even though it's given me a lot of expertise and a lot of experience, there was a lot of fatigue too. I was very tired of the whole process, and I'd seen so many of these movies start off great in conception, and by the time they came out, they'd been watered down, they'd been made very bland, and I had a little disenchantment with the field until I came to China and saw, all right, here's people still in love with animation and still eager to make new product, and it's made me eager to think of new things and try new product and new projects.
But I mean, like you said, they're all very talented, and we have so many people who are now involved in animation still.
Yes.
We don't see a major production. Well, the Gold and Wolf story, they could be quite successful now by China's standard, but maybe not yet internationally. Oh, I mean, you mentioned the writing. What else? Creativity?
Writing, creativity, a little daring. I don't know how much censorship there might be, although that's not a big thing. I won't even say, cartoons don't have to be outrageous. They don't have to push norms. And the main thing, and maybe some of it is just educating the public that cartoons are not for kids.
Not only for kids.
Not only for kids.
That's right.
And if they're going to see Kung Fu Panda, they must see. I'm actually surprised, how witty and how irreverent the Kung Fu Panda series is, where they'll have a character die, and I think Walt Disney would make that a very emotional moment, and they'll just shrug it off, or 2 seconds later they'll make a joke about it. They're very irreverent, and they never stand on sentiment.
How is it going? You're now working on Panda 3. I
am working on Panda 3. I'm a very small part of a very big operation, but I can say this. I've worked on 24 animated movies. This is the one I have never seen a studio work as hard on. I saw the movie a year ago. They showed it. I came on. They said, we want you to help on this project. Here's the movie. And they showed me a nearly finished film. And I said, well, just put it in theaters. If you put this out right now, it would be the best animated movie of the year. And they said, it can be better. And they've been retooling, and I helped and wrote a lot of material for it. And they looked at that, and they said, it still could be better. And it was supposed to come out, I think, it may have been this summer. And they said, well, you're coming out, and Star Wars is coming out at the same time. And they said, give us another year. And they pushed it back another year just to make it better. And you probably know Hollywood studios don't operate that way. They say, get it out. Let's get it out fast. When you call a movie Kung Fu Panda 3, it's going to be a giant hit no matter what it is. They could just put out Kung Fu Panda 2 again, call it Kung Fu Panda 3. They'd make a lot. But this is the one. I think China will be very, very happy with this. I'm very proud just to be a small part of it.
Did you see that? I just was like, what? Yeah.
Oh, I have received a message.
From the universe?
From a messenger.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Our greatest masters are disappearing. I fear this is the work of Lord Shen, who has unleashed a new kind of threat on our world. This could mean the end of Kung Fu.
But I just got Kung Fu!
And now, you must save it. Take the 5. It is time for the next phase of your journey.
My fist hungers for justice. That was my fist.
But this is a fairly important co-production, because this is like, out of the Kung Fu Panda series, this is the first one jointly produced by DreamWorks and Oriental DreamWorks. That's the joint venture company in Shanghai, based in Shanghai. I mean, what do you see out of this? I mean, there is a joint venture company being established in Shanghai now.
Great! What am I supposed to think? I think it's terrific. I think I'm glad. Someone told me the other day, they said, the Chinese are so mad they didn't make Kung Fu Panda. It should have been theirs. What can I say? We came into your culture and cherry-picked
That's
the
right.
best parts.
You guys are stealing from us.
Yes. Yes, I can't deny it. And sometimes it's good. Sometimes that's good to come into another culture and sort of see the parts you can't quite see because you live there. Just to pick the best locations and the best, most colorful parts of your culture. And certainly this is what Disney does with film after film. Every damn movie Disney makes is about a princess. But sometimes it's a princess in China, and sometimes it's a princess underwater, and then a princess in the snow. And it's all local color, and culture is the only variant in those films.
People were also mad about how come we didn't start it. We didn't do the story in ourselves. And because Panda was not the only example. Look at Mulan.
Mulan.
That was also a Chinese character.
A magnificent movie, too. One of my very favorites.
What are we missing?
Again, I think it may just be, you should make a movie about America. And I think it sounds facetious, but maybe that is a great way to go and use your
a little revenge,
America.
you mean?
Yes,
but what I'm saying is, what are we missing? How come we are not the ones who made movies, made productions like Kung Fu Panda or Mulan?
Again, you may just be a little too close to your culture to know what would travel the world, what the best parts are. It sounds silly, but that's it. Maybe you should make a movie about the Old West. Make a movie about Texas.
But at the same time, it seems there is the trend internationally that Chinese cultural elements being incorporated a lot.
Yes.
In movies, in TV, even in the fashion world. And why is this happening like that?
It's a great culture. It's a great, varied, colorful. It is one of the most colorful cultures in the world, and thousands of years old. It's distinctive and original, and again, true to itself. So we use it. There's a funny thing I see that Hollywood and China, I think, are doing wrong, which is, especially Hollywood is trying to reach a Chinese market. So what do? They'll make an action movie, and they'll have one scene in Shanghai, and someone's climbing a skyscraper, and or they'll put a Chinese person in the cast. Here's our team of experts. Here's our team of car thieves, and one guy's Chinese, and the Chinese will love that. And I think it's pandering, and I think it's patronizing, and generally I think the public in a country sees through that. They don't want to be patronized. They want to see a good movie. And I would say, every once in a while a Chinese movie breaks through in America in a huge way, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Hero, movies like this. And they didn't stick Abraham Lincoln in the middle there. They don't have Brad Pitt running around Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's just a good movie. It's a good movie, and again, it's just steeped in Chinese culture.
What is a good movie then?
A good movie is just a good movie. It's a
good story, good acting,
good acting.
Everything.
I would say I like to think as a writer, the script is very important. The story, and I wish it was the story. I wish it was the jokes. I mean, I write comedy. I wish it was the jokes. I don't think the jokes are anywhere near as important as the emotion, as loving the characters. And sometimes I'm just a fan where I go to the movies and I don't know what makes it great, but I know it's great when I see it. Fast and Furious 7 is now, here's a movie, a hit all over the world. And why not? It's just so great. It's so entertaining. And I don't know why the car chases in that film are so much better than in every other movie that has a car chase. But they're doing something right.
So in a sense, China is now becoming one of the largest film markets now in the world. I mean, and how do you think that is going to affect the global film industry?
I think you'll see a lot of wrong-headed decisions trying to reach your market. I think you'll see, again, a lot of patronizing, pandering things. Some of it'll work, Sometime I heard they were going to do a remake of The Bodyguard, the movie with Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston, and they were going to put a Chinese actress. It was going to be some Chinese opera star or something in the Whitney Houston role. And I thought, gee, I think a lot of the world won't be interested in that. And I get the feeling China might not be interested in that either. That's not the way to make an international hit.
It all seemed too short-term vision. And basically, not long ago, they even made a, China version of these blockbusters. But the thing is, we're now living in this internet age, and everything that happens in America is known to Chinese viewers here in China, so they know there are two different versions. But the thing is, Chinese viewers didn't feel really treated, with a privilege, and they thought it was like, hey, what are you exactly doing? Making it's just for the sake of the revenues they might produce in this market. So you agree with us? You don't think it's a good idea?
I've never operated my career that way. I've never thought that way, and it often will work in the short term. Something will work once. You make 5 quick copies of that, and people will go see that. But within a year or two, people will smell a rat. People will know better than that.
Do you see any major differences in the understanding of, say, film languages in China and in America?
I haven't seen enough Chinese films to comment. I see Zhang Yimou movies.
Hero.
Hero, great movies. But I followed him through his whole career. He seems to change genre every 10 years or so. He'll do period pieces. And then for a while, he seemed to do social realism. And then suddenly these giant epic films. He does them all well. He's just a genius. And, he's not following any trend. He seems to just make a great movie no matter what he does. Steven Spielberg does the same thing. Sometimes it's a period piece. Sometimes it's a drama. Sometimes it's a rousing, popcorn movie. He's just a talented man who makes great movies.
And once again, look around at all these main characters of your own creativity.
How about that?
How about that? And who is your favorite?
Oh, who's my favorite? Let me take a second here. I gotta say this guy, Homer Simpson. You don't know Homer quite yet. Can I pause here?
Right.
Homer Simpson is a comedy writer's dream. I write comedy.
Yes.
If you want to write jokes, everything is wrong with Homer Simpson. He's fat. He's bald. He's stupid. He's lazy. He's an alcoholic. And in season 4, we decided, he smells bad too. So he's just such a dream to write comedy for. And this is why I love writing cartoons. He's not a real person. If he was an actor and we were making those same jokes, we'd hurt his feelings. He'd probably kill himself eventually.
But in the new season, are you going to make him a little better? Or?
No, the only change we've ever made in the character was he used to get a little dumber every year. And around season 7, he had an IQ of a rock. He was like a rock or a stapler. And we all started to notice, and the fans would write in saying, he's just a little too dumb now. And so slowly his IQ has been creeping up. It's right around 85 now.
And do they still change gradually over the 26 years?
That's it. 85, I say maybe he'll go up to 87, but no higher.
But that we can see in China, that will still have to wait until...
I think 2016.
2016. Well, we'll wait. We'll look forward to that. Once again, thank you.
It's worth the wait. Yes,
absolutely.
A pleasure.
Absolutely.
Exciting to be in China right now.
Yeah. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, the fort is complete and will stand forever.
No way the Nazis will get in here.
Oh, I thought we were the Nazis.
Ew, just hearing about them makes me itch. Ooh, funny how the brain does that, huh?
It's making me see them.
The brain is so stupid.
Ah, those are bed bugs. How do we get bed bugs?
Probably one of Bart's dirty friends. Boy, why are your friends so dirty?
Dunno. Why are your friends such drunks?
Touché.